This week on the Omaha News, see how the war in Gaza brings people together to protest right here in Omaha.
Then see how Omaha artists are heating up downtown in collaboration.
Finally, see how Stray Cats winners months advance.
All this and more on the Omaha News. Welcome back to the Omaha News. I'm Jackson Piercy.
And I'm Hannah Wheelock. Israel has intensified its airstrikes on targets within the Gaza Strip in anticipation of a forthcoming ground assault against the Hamas militants. This escalation has resulted in a significant rise in casualties in Gaza, prompting concerns in the U.S. that the conflict could potentially lead to a broader regional confrontation. Since the Hamas attack on Israeli towns on October 7th, the 2.3 million inhabitants of Gaza have been facing severe shortages of essential supplies, including food, water, and medicine, due to Israel's blockade of the territory. The aid convoys that have managed to enter Gaza thus far have only provided a fraction of the required resources. The UN stated last Thursday that if there is no fuel available for the trucks, the distribution of aid will have to cease.
U.S. and other officials fear fighting between Israel and Hamas could spill into a wider regional conflict. The war, in its 19th day, is the deadliest of 5 Gaza wars for both sides. According to the Associated Press, fuel shortages and the bombardment forced the shutdown of medical facilities in Gaza. Over the weekend, dozens of pro-Palestinian protesters lined the streets of 72nd and Dodge to voice their concerns over the war that has left tens of thousands of people dead. Reporter Andrew Kaslaika has more.
In a response to the Hamas attack on Israel and Israel's subsequent militant reaction, pro-Palestine protesters gathered on 72nd and Dodge. Protester Amina Mohammed says she has strong feelings on the matter, and that is why she found herself at the forefront of the demonstration.
You don't have to be Muslim or brown or a person of color to support Palestine. You just have to be human. You just have to know right from wrong. And killing thousands of children is wrong.
While protester Amina Mohammed says that the solution is complicated, Nebraskans for Peace social media operator Maria Hill says that it's just important to get the word out.
There wasn't social media that had anything that could be widely shared to get more people here. Mostly been Nebraskans for Peace. The one that was here on Wednesday, Nebraskans for Peace, the Palestinian Rights Task Group, was here.
Hill says that Nebraskans for Peace had nothing to do with the protests in Lincoln. According to YouGov, 48% of U.S. adults are more sympathetic towards the Israelis, while only 10% are more sympathetic towards the Palestinians. According to The Hill, Republicans are 3 times more likely than Democrats to say the Israeli military response wasn't strong enough. According to Reuters, Muslims from around the world have protested to end Israel's Gaza campaign. While police were present at the protest, they did not get involved. For the Omaha News, I'm Andrew Kaslaika.
Arab and Muslim Americans and their allies are criticizing President Joe Biden's response to the Israel-Hamas war, asking him to do more to prevent a humanitarian crisis in Gaza or risk losing their support in the 2024 election.
It may seem harder to get your favorite seasonal fruits and vegetables as cold weather moves into the Midwest. However, there's an Omaha farmers market looking to change that. The local Legacy Farmers Market is extending its season through the fall by holding an indoor pop-up event. According to the USDA Farmers Market Directory, the number of farmers markets has grown from 2,000 in 1994 to 8,600 today. Giving people the ability to shop for their groceries outdoors during the pandemic boosted farmers markets' popularity. However, markets in Midwest states, like Nebraska, can't take advantage of this luxury all year round. The Legacy Farmers Market manager, Angelyn Wang, says she can never predict how a day will go due to the weather. Wang says the most important thing people can do for farmers markets is to endorse the farmers themselves.
If we don't keep farmers in business and if we don't support them, then these markets can't happen.
Visiting a pop-up event like the Legacy's Farmer Market is the only way they can keep holding these events. The indoor holiday pop-up on November 4th will run from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the empty storefront next to Massage Envy and Honey Baked Ham Cafe, located on West Center Road and 168th Street.
Nebraska ranks 3rd among the nations in top corn growers in the country, falling behind Iowa and Illinois. According to the Nebraska Ag Department, harvest season here begins around September 21st. Reporter Gracie Goose says that we are in the heart of harvest season and that there are a few things you can do to keep our farmers and ourselves safer on the road.
You most likely come upon a combine or a farming semi-truck while driving to or from work, wishing that they could move a little faster or get off the road entirely. According to the National Ag Safety data, farm equipment accidents on the roadway are one of the leading causes of deaths and severe injuries for farmers. Silver City, Iowa farmer David Schoening explains the multiple ways he ensures he and his helpers are safe on the roads.
We never move without somebody ahead of us. We have private radios. That's how I'm safe about it. All our trailers have lights. The grain carts have I have light cameras on the back of them.
Many farmers will say they wish more drivers on the road would be patient with them. Modern farming equipment has gotten bigger and bigger throughout the years, and farmers do their best to allow space on the roads.
According to the CDC, there is a vast underreporting of farming accidents. In 2020, there were nearly 12,000, and the American Farm Bureau says that in 2021, there were 451 farming fatalities.
Mineola, Iowa farmer Andrew Schoening says that he understands people want to get home to their family, and so do they when they work long hours in the fields.
We know that you want to get places. We want to get to our places. I have a small one at home. I hardly get to see him.
David and Andrew explained that the 2023 harvest season has been a bit more stressful due to the drought, which have caused more dust in the air and made it harder to see from the farming equipment. They want everyone to be aware of factors like this so we can all be safe on the roads this fall.
Great story, Gracie. When can drivers expect the harvest season to be finished?
If the weather stays dry for farmers, you can expect most of them to be done early to mid-November, right in time for them to spend the holidays with their families.
Thank you, Gracie. After the break, see how one high school football team hopes to dominate the state playoffs this weekend.
Then get a look at how an Omaha Art Center gives back to the community.
All this and more on the Omaha News.
University of Nebraska at Omaha's bookstore is home to more than books. The UNO bookstore accommodates all students' needs with phone and laptop repairs at the iFix UNO station or free residence hall delivery. The bookstore, located in the Milevale Student Center, is full of Maverick merchandise. Find sweatshirts for chilly Nebraska days or cozy UNO mugs for every coffee fix. Shop anytime at unobookstore.com.
Nearly 3,000 student athletes competing in 19 varsity sports from 9 institutions. Compete for nationally ranked teams to become academic All-Americans and NCAA champions. Nearly 100,000 students and more than 800,000 alumni celebrate their schools as they rise to reach the summit. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders reach the summit today.
I'm a veteran, with my battle scars like a letterman's. I done crawled through the mud full speed, so I wouldn't underestimate me.
Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Faded press to a full.
Nebraska high school football playoffs officially began last weekend. Class A playoffs begin this week. Reporter Max Garvey focuses in on a storied rivalry with history on the line.
Nebraska Class A state football playoffs are set to begin this weekend, and the team to beat are defending state champions Omaha Westside. The undefeated and #1 Warriors have appeared in the last 4 straight Class A title games. Westside has dominated in 2023, outscoring opponents 443-40 during the regular season. The success of the school's program has the Warriors community singing high praises for head coach Paul Lamanji and his staff.
Coach Lamonti does a lot of good stuff for our guys. He makes them wear suits the day before game days, which I think is a really cool thing. They do a lot of team bonding stuff, so I think that's worked out tremendously for our guys, and it's showed on the field that we're a brotherhood and we're one pack moving together.
Omaha Westside's 4 consecutive state title game appearances are an accomplishment of the school's own. However, if the Warriors make it to a 5th consecutive title game, it will only be the 2nd time that this has happened in history. From 1985 to 1989, Creighton Prep appeared in 5 consecutive title games and won all 5. Prep offensive coordinator TJ Fife explains why it has been so difficult for other schools to compete with Westside this year.
Lack of weaknesses. When you see a lot of teams, you'll just go out there and you're like, okay, we can try to target this or that. Across the board, they're really talented.
The arch-rival Junior Jays and Warriors will go head-to-head this Friday in the first round of playoffs, adding a poetic twist to potential Nebraska high school football history. For the Omaha News, I'm Max Garvey.
The first round of NSAA Class D playoffs took place over the weekend. Classes A, B, and C will kick off their brackets on Friday.
The Hot Shops Arts Center hosted their 2nd annual fall fundraiser last weekend, inviting the public to come and see what their studios can do. Ben Copeland takes us in for a closer look.
The Hot Shops Art Center is a creative space where artists from all over Omaha can go and create, with the name Hot Shops representing the 4 hot studios that make up the heart of the center. This includes an iron forge and blacksmithing shop, a ceramic studio, a metal foundry, and of course, glass blowing. The center is a non-profit, so to expand and grow, they host events like Friday's 2nd annual fall fundraiser. Hot Shops Executive Director Kim Selmeyer is aiming to add a few additions with the help of this year's fundraiser.
And we are fundraising for things like a new elevator. We don't have an accessible elevator, we have a freight elevator. We will be fundraising for a renovation to the 4th floor so we can invite more of those artists in. So it's so important that creative talent has a place to land here in Omaha.
The Hot Shops Art Center is open 7 days a week, and they encourage the public to come in, see demonstrations, and even sign up for classes if they're interested. Glass Shop Studio Manager Matthew Schrader attributes where he is today on being inspired by watching glass demonstrations.
In 2000, Dale Chihuly, he was a really famous glass artist, had a show over at the Joslin Art Museum right across the street. And I went over there, just was really amazed by it. And it was 3 years later that I took a class here from Crystal Forge and never looked back after that, really. So,
Hot Shops also do events with Boys and Girl Scouts, team building workshops, and even one-on-one workshops in addition to a wide variety of classes.
The next big event Hot Shops is hosting will be their Winter Open House, which will take place December 2nd and 3rd. Don't go away, I'll be back in the kitchen to get an inside look at the latest touring exhibit at the Durham Museum.
The media landscape is vastly different from the past. Conglomeration and consolidation have changed the skill sets required to succeed. Journalists must not only know how to conduct research, interview, and write stories, but they also have to know how to shoot and edit the stories they tell. Likewise, creative media professionals must know how to interview, research, and write the stories they shoot and edit. In the School of Communication, we require students to gain experience and proficiencies employers are seeking. The 2 hardest mediated genres to produce are live sports and newscasts. Thus, once our students are taught the basics, they are given opportunities to improve the abilities at these genres. Capstones 1 and 2 feature the culmination of skill sets. Once students produce the Omaha News, they can use it in their demo reel to show their skills. From here, students can go anywhere.
I never thought I'd be standing in the clouds looking down on the ancient ruins of the Incan Empire. I never thought I'd live among the street artists in Valparaiso. I never thought I'd make friends that would last a lifetime.
Adventure's out there, and as Mavericks, it's up to us to find it.
Stop thinking, start doing. Visit educationabroad.unomaha.edu.
It's a super fun activity. The group only rehearses as needed to prepare for the music that they provide at games. And we're always looking for ways to continue showing what the very talented students in the Maverick Machine are capable of.
I really enjoy doing pep band because it's music that is very familiar to me.
Over the years, debates and criticism has been heard regarding the addictive and time-consuming nature of video games. However, research from the National Institutes of Health have revealed that gaming may have some beneficial effects on our brains. Reporter Dee Warren takes a deep dive into the positive effects of gaming.
According to a recent study of more than 2,200 children conducted by the National Institutes of Health, playing video games has been shown to have beneficial effects on our brains and cognitive health. Unlike TV shows and movies, video games are interactive and require attention to detail and task management. As a UNO student, Aaron Reisinger says that gaming has also helped him be more social.
Well, for me, the biggest impact that gaming has had is it's actually really helped me foster my ability to talk to people.
However, social interaction isn't all that gaming offers. Experts like Drew Roberts at the Creative Production Labs at UNO says that video games can also become powerful learning tools when it comes to teaching students how to critically think.
You need to be able to critically deduce, critically think, and critically assess. And where we are failing to instigate or integrate that into our education, we are doing it in gaming. Gaming is just a constant flow of critical thinking.
They can be enjoyable social pastimes or powerful tools of learning. And Drew says that institutions should study how students learn through games and apply that to the classrooms. For the Omaha News, I'm Dee Warren.
The UNO Creative Production Lab has lots of games to choose from. Perhaps video games could one day be integrated into the academic sector. Regardless, it seems that video games are here to stay, and games will always be here to play.
Even though she passed away in 2004, Julia Child's spirit and innovation continue to inspire Omahans to follow in their dreams, hobbies, and feats of trailblazing. I get into the kitchen to see what's cooking at the Durham.
Aptly named UNO student Honey Graham puts a lot of importance on the practices she utilizes in the kitchen.
Food to me is very much like a very communicative and cultural thing. I'm a very collaborative artist and I like to do collaborations.
The inspiration for a lifelong passion such as Graham's has to start somewhere, and for her, that somewhere was on the airwaves, watching the Food Network with her mother with shows that allowed that creativity to flow. The Durham Museum has an exhibit showing those who walk the halls a look into the life of what Time magazine called one of the most powerful women of the 20th century, Julia Child. The Durham's exhibit allows visitors to immerse themselves in the lives of Julia Child, from her escapades with the Office of Strategic Services in World War II to a recreation of the kitchen she had her show on. Durham Museum Communications Director Dawn Myron says that this exhibit has a little bit of everything for everybody, even if you're a vegetarian like Myron.
The television clips of Julia Child with the duck and with the fish and all of that, I was like, I don't know if that's for me. But then in learning about her through this exhibit, oh my gosh, she was so fascinating. And I just she has so many life lessons.
Through these life lessons, no matter whether you're a chef or a spy, Myron says that people can learn that many more things are within people's reach than they think. In Julia Child, people won't just find the original TV chef, but also somebody who paved a way for women in television and brought the joys of cooking to millions of people worldwide. Julia Child, A Recipe for Life, will remain in the Durham Museum until February 11th, 2024, running concurrently with Cream of the Crop, covering Omaha's food television innovators. UNO's beloved mascot, Durango, is celebrating 52 years of cheering on our students this Thursday. To celebrate, students can stop into the Milo Bale Center for cake, stickers, photo ops, and a special swag surprise. 52 years ago, UNL held the student election to pick the college's new mascot, and the Mavericks won, just barely beating out the Unicorns with a vote of 566 to 515. Prior to the fuzzy mascot we all know and love today, a live steer named Victor E. Maverick was the school's mascot. Unfortunately, Victor grew up and became too difficult to handle, and Durango of today was revealed shortly after.
Coming up, we'll focus on our feline friends and how to protect them from the cold this Midwest winter.
Then, see why now is the perfect time to adopt your own furry friend.
Don't go away, we've got more to come after a break.
Is still learning the ropes. He stepped up to the volunteer position in August to organize student volunteer.
IT is so broad that it's not just coding. It can be applied in so many different ways in different areas.
Technology impacts a lot of different things, a lot of different people, and if you can truly put yourself in their shoes and trying to solve that problem, just understanding that why is truly important.
UNO is one of those places where you can come and really get involved in whatever you want.
I ended up taking a bioinformatics class, and I ended up with a MD, PhD. I can do both the research and I can help people.
I chose the College of IS&T because it was my dream to become a data manager, and this college fits the best.
They're really the best people to be teaching the classes because they know and have worked in the field.
There's always a people factor, and getting people that are interested in your development is key to your success.
Omaha's best college radio station. It's MAV Radio. To listen, just go online to mavradio.fm.
Fortunately, this weekend may not be the warmest weekend for outdoor Halloween festivities, but it is promising to look and feel very spooky. With windy conditions making high temperatures in the mid-40s and rain and wintry slurries to be expected, we here at the studio urge our viewers to stay safe this Halloween season. Don't worry, your Barbie and Ken costumes will look even better with a jacket on.
Omaha had over 60,000 feral cats in 2018, and many rely on caretakers to give them the resources they need. In the winter, those resources become much more valuable. As temperatures begin to drop, outdoor cat colony caretakers are taking extra care to help them through the winter. Local cat management groups like the Working Cat Project are making sure the public knows how to help outdoor cats in the area. Founder Kathy Robertson says they cannot do it all by themselves.
It's very, very important for people to be willing to learn, educate themselves, to help out with these outside cats.
People can put out dry food, water, and make sure it does not freeze, and allow the cats some kind of shelter in a garage or shed. While it's important to keep the cats safe and healthy, you should never put them in a situation they are uncomfortable with. Outdoor cats should never be forced inside, and indoor cats should never be brought outside. Otherwise, they'll just be stressed, depressed, and simply not know what to do with themselves. Instead, make an outdoor shelter for cats to keep warm, dry, and safe. Use things like a garbage bin, plastic tote, or styrofoam cooler. Feline Friends member Lawrence Shackman gives tips for creating a suitable shelter.
You don't want to use towels in the wintertime in the shelters because the cats will generate heat and then it gets moisture, and so they get wet. So you're trying to keep it dry. So you want to use straw instead of towels in the wintertime.
The work does not stop there. Robertson says it is a year-round responsibility to get cats spayed and neutered to keep them healthy. Temperatures are expected to drop below freezing by Friday night, so those that would like to help should aim to have shelters built and placed outside by then.
As October winds down, that means the end of kitten season for the Omaha Metro. Reporter Peyton Hollybeck has the scoop on this year's kitten season and how you can spend time with kittens even after October.
The end of October brings more than just candy. It also brings the last influx of kittens for the year.
Kitten season, beginning in April to October, is a period where cats are in heat and giving birth to kittens. This usually overwhelms shelters who are unable to take in so many animals at once. Cat owner Lauren Murphy says this is the perfect time to adopt or foster kittens.
I think getting them younger it's a double-edged sword because you want to adopt all ages of cats, but also getting them younger, you can make more decisions for them.
Adopting young kittens gives owners the chance to make decisions that will set their cats up for a long, happy life. Though for some people, long-term adoption isn't an option. The Nebraska Humane Society has a kitten fostering program which anyone can get involved in.
We'll give you a big wire crate. The babies can go in the wire crate in your, spare room during the day when you're at work or whatever. If they don't need bottle feeding, then you can work with them around a work schedule.
According to the Nebraska Humane Society, in 2023's kitten season, they saw over 1,000 kittens come through the shelter, including, but not limited to, Muddy Buddy here.
I think fostering is very rewarding for people too, and it's fabulous because you're saving, 6 little lives, and then they come in, get adopted, because who doesn't love a kitten, and then they're able to then help the next crew that comes in.
Applicants are able to apply to foster on the Nebraska Humane Society's website at nehumanesociety.org. For the Omaha News, I'm Peyton Hollebeck.
Nebraska Humane Society is always looking for volunteers to play with all of their animals, which are almost certainly as cute as Muddy Buddy.
So UNO's homecoming is next week, Jackson. Are you part of the homecoming royalty?
As shocking as it may seem, our mascot, Durango, didn't even ask me. How rude.
Oh my gosh.
Golly.
Well, next week we'll be back with more stories, so thanks for watching the Omaha News.
Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter at UNO the Omaha News, or go to unomahanews.com for even more news.
It's about understanding the process of communication and what we learn through that process.
So something that you'll find within the School of Communication graduate program is that there is such a rich field of expertise.
I can think of no other discipline where we spend so much time focusing on not just one side of the conversation, but all sides of the conversation.
Not only do you get to work closely with other graduate students that come from all different walks of life, but you get to learn from graduate faculty that take those perspectives and help you grow yourself in a way that teaches you to be an academic, but also lets you be you in a really unique way.
I chose UNO very specifically, not just because I live here, I'm proud to represent here, but because I thought their program offered strengths that I didn't see in other programs.
For more than 20 years, only one program has addressed topics that matter to viewers. Only one program delivers the information that Nebraskans need to live the good life. I'm Kathy Wyatt. Join my guests and me as we discuss those issues every week on a program we call Consider This.